and I'm here to talk about my book swap-a-thon wrap-up. So I actually completed two books last week due to Krista and Derby's readathon. The first book I read during the week was I Can't Make This Up, Life Lessons by Kevin Hart. And I listened to that on audio, and that was um, to fulfill the challenge of swapping the type of book that you read. I usually read physical books, so I tried an audio book, and his book was actually great to listen to. I'll be the first one to say I am not a Kevin Hart like stan or fan. Like, I think he's pretty funny, but I did not understand how big of a deal Kevin Hart is until after reading this book. I was like, oh wow, he actually is a big deal. Like, and then I looked at his Instagram. He has like 53 million followers. So he kind of is like the comedian of the time right now. And what he mentioned in the book was that it took him 16 years to be an overnight success. With that being said, he was actually doing comedy long way before he was ever popular from doing his comedy or even wealthy from doing his comedy. I would say that those who are interested in reading his book, I would definitely suggest it on audio. I personally had no interest in actually physically reading this book, but hearing him narrate his own story was really good. I think he was very fair to himself and to the people he discussed in the book. And sometimes and I think what evened it out was the fact that he was willing to critique his own self in his book. It had some funny moments, but I mean, I wasn't dying out loud in laughter, but I must say it was an interesting story, and I was eager to listen to it every chance I got. So the next book I read was There Are More Beautiful Things Than Beyonce, which I actually started in February and put down to read another book. I gave that book, I think, 4 stars on Goodreads, but I rounded up. I give it like a 3.5, 3.75. Not because those poems weren't good, but they are definitely poems that need to be discussed. There are so many ways to view certain poems of hers. I automatically needed like a pen to kind of like write down notes. There's so much to unpack from it. And I would love to hear Morgan Parker actually say those poems aloud. And I can actually relate to some of those poems. Being like such a Beyonce fan, like I understand why her poetry, it didn't all focus around Beyonce, but what I ended up getting from the book is that yeah, there are more beautiful things than Beyonce. Like, you are beautiful as well. Like, your life is beautiful as well. Your life is great. Like, you are beautiful as you are, you know, because she is somebody that we hold, especially as Black women, hold in high regard, who's very successful. Everything seems very glamorous, very perfect, and just being human, sometimes you can hold yourself up to like those type of standards. And it's not just, of course, with Beyonce, but just thinking that people have better lives than you do, and your life is worth being praised and being seen as beautiful as well. So I really like that book. I ended up giving the book to Crystal to read because I needed somebody to discuss it with. So that is why I don't have it with me right now, and I will insert pictures of that and Kevin Hart's book if you didn't already see it. I should have already inserted it by now. And so the third book I'm currently finishing up, but I might not finish it by this month. I'm going to try to. Currently today is June 29th, so I'm going to try and finish this up tonight, which is Grant Park by Leonard Pitts Jr. And this is one of the books that Alicia from Pretty Brown Eyed Reader swapped with me. And this book is about a black journalist who is kidnapped on the day of Barack Obama's first election cycle. It's basically like about racism, history, and certain things just kind of colliding all on this day. It's a thriller. I will say that there was the first maybe flashback in this book went a little slow. It was like really weird. It just did not catch my attention. I was going to DNF this book. I was about 60 pages into this book. And I was like, no, Alicia gave me this book. I want to read it. I want to finish it. And I'm glad I did, because that rough patch, I think it was just kind of me trying to get used to going in between, like, the story being was it November 8th or November 9th? One of the days. Whatever election day is, it taking place on election day and kind of going back to the 1960s, where the author is like recalling certain events around Martin Luther King's death. That kind of just didn't sit well with me at first, but the book moves really fast after that. Even the flashback scenes from there on out, like, I don't know what it was. Maybe it was me being at work or something trying to read it, but whatever that happened then has not happened the rest of this book, and you see I'm almost finished. I have one complaint though. Why is this print so small? Who thought that was a good idea? Like, luckily the book moves fast enough, but at first I was like, why is this print so little? And it looks like it's like 0.5, but nonetheless, I think Alicia has figured me out pretty well in the books I like, because I really like this one so far. I'm pretty much going to give this a 4-star rating unless it messes up in these last 90 pages, but I'm hoping it doesn't. So thanks for watching this video. Let me know if you did book swap-a-thon and what you got finished reading. If you want to know anything else about the books I read, leave a comment below, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.